Next up, we have the microphone, which also to me is one of the most important features of a headset in modern day gaming, since so much of gaming these days is done multiplayer. And even then, if you don't regularly play multiplayer, it's nice still to get into party chats with your friends and to be able to chat to each other. So starting with the wired headset, it's obviously, as I've noted before, a flip to mute microphone, which is a nice feature. It's a nice extra thing to not have to worry about a button somewhere on the cable or on the headset itself to turn the thing on or off. It's a nice sturdy but bendy cable, so you can get it right in front of your mouth, you can bend it away, you can either direction, whichever way you want to bend it. It obviously has the pop filter on the end, which does a noticeable job of filtering out breathing, any ambient noise, if there's people in your street, if you have a loud road outside your house. It does make a noticeable difference with the pop filter on, like most professional microphones will have when they're working outside or around lots of noise. It does a nice physical filter of filtering out certain frequencies, which you don't necessarily want going into the microphone from around it. It's also a unidirectional microphone, which most microphones are, so it's not going to be actively picking up sound coming from any other direction except the front, which you'll obviously have facing towards you there. The wireless microphone is obviously very similar. The design is incredibly similar. It's basically the same microphone, except for the fact that when you flip it up and you flip it down, there's the audible tone, which you'll hear through the headset, which I've noted before in the functionality. Other than that, I think the main difference is the quality seems to be a little bit less on the wireless microphone. I think this might be because of you might be losing some of the fidelity between the headset and the Xbox. I didn't really test the distance between the Xbox affecting the quality of the microphone. It wasn't necessarily bad, it just my friends said that it was a little bit softer. And as I always say, I have a very scientific test when I test microphones on these headsets, that I just join a party chat and I let my friends let me know if there's anything noticeable. I don't tell them that I'm using a different headset. They just say, oh, what's wrong with your headset? Or why do you sound so much clearer now? Why is your volume so much louder on your headset? And basically everyone thought that my headset was further away from my mouth when I was using this one. So it was just a slight adjustment of moving it a little bit closer towards my mouth, but it is noticeable that the microphone quality on the wireless is maybe a little bit less than the wired headset. The other thing to note is on the wireless headset, there is no microphone monitoring, which is something that I've picked up recently on a few headsets that have been launched recently. That is a nice touch for wireless headsets. It allows you to hear your voice through your ears, back through the earpieces themselves. It's something I didn't realize was a useful feature until I've actually tried it out recently. I would like to see it being incorporated into more wireless headsets, as it, I feel, allows more functionality as far as maybe recording yourself for content creation if you want to get into streaming or to make YouTube videos or anything like that. It's a nice extra feature that you don't necessarily know that you want until you've tried it. It's something you guys maybe not have all tried at home, but if you have the opportunity to try a headset with mic monitoring, you should give it a try, because it really is something that is a noticeable feature that once you've tried it, it's nice. It's difficult to go back to headsets that don't have it. And obviously these headsets don't have, and they are entry-level headsets, so I wouldn't have expected too much in the way of extra features, but it's worth noting that I would hope in the future more wireless headsets and even wired headsets allow that functionality of mic monitoring within the headsets themselves. So to sum up the microphones, I feel like both headsets do a very good job. They obviously have the flip to mute features. They have the pop filter on both of them. Apparently on the wireless headset there is more noise cancelling from the microphone itself. I can't really test that because I live alone, so I don't have lots of noise around me in my gaming room, so I can't really say yes or no if there is more noise cancelling from the one than the other. But apparently there is more noise cancelling in the wireless, so it's worth noting that the wireless headset has better noise cancelling technology through the microphone than the wired headset does. But still, at the end of the day, the microphones work well, they do the job. They don't have mic monitoring in either of them, but they are entry-level products, and they are clear, but they're certainly not the clear wrist microphones that I have tested out there. So I feel like they do the job in the entry-level market. Nothing special to write home about, but again, because they're both entry-level products, I can't mark them down too much for not having fancy features that extra products, that more expensive products have, to make them more expensive. So both of these headsets in their respectable categories get 15s out of 20. So completely admirable jobs. They could have had maybe a little bit extra, but everything they say they do very well, and you won't really notice any differences in quality between the two really, except maybe the overall volume of the wireless headset, as I mentioned, compared to the wired headset. So both of them get a 15 out of 20.